It was the Warriors 10, the Sharks 46.
Didn't watch any of this. Don't like watching the Sharks play.
And finally, the Panthers 22 and the Cowboys 10.
Karsten said, we nearly pulled the Panthers down to our level. Close. So close. Yeah, watching this game in the first 20 minutes or so, I just thought the Panthers were going to run riot if they had half a thing about them, but they didn't quite click. And actually, what the Cowboys did in this game was they decided that they were going to lose, but they thought, let's only lose by a small margin. Because everything they did was not like half-arsed, but it was kind of like the defensive line was so passive, and the Panthers were getting tons of offloads away. They were winning every contact, but what they weren't doing is getting the line breaks and the gaps that the Cowboys have been giving up so much in other games this season that I've seen them on the wrong end of big score lines. So the Cowboys played in a way to keep it close, but I don't think they were ever going to win the game. But on a positive for them, they had the two teenagers, didn't they, that scored the tries. And a few weeks ago I said players making debuts shouldn't have nicknames yet. And so calling Hamiso Tabuai Fido the Hammer, I thought he hadn't earned it yet, but he did score the try of the round in this one. His solo try where he broke from midfield, ran round a couple of players on the edge as well with his pace, showed strength, pace, showed everything in the try. Great finish from the young kid. And younger Assy on debut as well grabbed a try. But I always sort of felt with a player like Cleary controlling the game and being all over the game, Fisher Harris had a big game, Willie Kickow had a big game. There was just too much for a Panther side that are playing quite well, even though they had to overcome some injuries. They were reduced to two players off the bench, but good win for them in the end. And it's important in terms of the standings, Sarah.
It is, because the Panthers now climb to the top on 17 points. The Eels and the Storm have 16 points. The Knights make up the top four on 13 points. The Roosters and Raiders both have 12, and then comes a group of 4 on 10 points. West Tigers, the Rabbitohs, Sharks and Sea Eagles. The Dragons have 8 points and they're still in the top 8 chase. The Cowboys, Warriors, Broncos and Titans all have 6 points, and the Bulldogs remain adrift at the bottom on 2 points.
Round 11 comes up next weekend. I suppose the final weekend that the NRL gets top billing before Super League returns. And the fixtures are Parramatta versus West Tigers, or the Eels versus West Tigers, Thursday at 10:50. The Cowboys versus the Sea Eagles, Friday at 9 a.m. Broncos versus the Storm, Friday at 10:55. Warriors versus the Roosters, Saturday at 6 a.m. I suppose this Broncos Storm is a Queensland derby now, I suppose, isn't it? The Sharks versus the Dragons, Saturday at 8:30. Raiders versus the Rabbitohs, maybe a Brit watch derby, Saturday at 10:35. Knights versus the Bulldogs, Sunday at 5 a.m. And then the Titans versus the Panthers, Sunday at 7:05. It's a little bit like last week, isn't it? That we're kind of at a soft point of the schedule here, where some of the teams that are showing themselves to be the cream of the crop are playing against some of the teams that aren't so much of that. But any games stand out for you there?
I mean, it'll be interesting to see Eels against West Tigers. Obviously, West Tigers had the good result this week, didn't they? And
yeah, I agree.
See whether Eels pull themselves together or not. As you said, Raiders against Rabbitohs, another interesting potential with the British players.
Completely. I think they were the two that stood out to me as well. Spot on, Sarah.
Thanks for my opinion being considered correct.
Well, no, I agree with it. Well, everyone else might think we're both talking bollocks. Someone out there can't wait for the Sharks versus the Dragons.
By this point, I don't know what I'm saying, who I'm saying, or where I'm saying.
Well, we're sorry if anyone
Which brings us nicely onto the quiz.
Yeah, we're sorry if anyone was looking for a more in-depth look back at the NRL. I'm sure there's 50 or so podcasts from Australia that'll do that this week. We had way more important stuff to talk about, but we're now going to kind of finish off in a more traditional style. We're going to slip into a bit of a quiz. quiz time then. And seeing us, we've spent an hour of the 2 hours that we've been doing the show talking about Toronto. Why not, do a bit talking about Toronto? I've got some Toronto players, past and present. So I've got 10 current or former Wolfpack players. Now, what I'll give you is their Wolfpack stats as per Wikipedia, in terms of the amount of times they played for the Wolfpack, the amount of tries they scored, the amount of goals they kicked, if they kicked any. So that should give you a clue maybe on the position that these people might have played. And then I'm going to give you all of the other clubs they've played for in their careers in order from their first club to their current club.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and start with some that maybe you'll have an insight on, because they might have appeared for your club along the way, and then we're going to...
Can I guess at Hakeem Maludi and Rich Whiting?
Well, it's a good job you got those out of the way before we did any of the clues, because neither of those two are on the board.
What?
So, player 1. Played 25 times for the Wolfpack, scored 25 tries, and also kicked 171 goals. His clubs, in order of career, were Hull FC, then Widnes on loan, then Hull Kingston Rovers, then Wakefield, then Toronto, then he moved on to Leigh, back to Hull Kingston Rovers, and is currently with Featherstone. The Fev Vultures.
Could you just give me his playing thing?
So he played 25 times for the Wolfpack. He scored 25 tries and kicked 171 goals. He started his career at Hull FC, went to Widnes on loan, then moved to Hull Kingston Rovers, Wakefield, then was his spell at Toronto.
Was it Danny Tickle?
No, it wasn't Danny Tickle.
He didn't go to Toronto, did he? He just went everywhere else.
I'm not sure. He might have been at Toronto, but he didn't start at Hull FC.
Oh, no, he didn't, did he?
No.
I just got carried away then.
It's Craig Hall.
Oh, yeah, the other player that's played everywhere.
I know, and Tim's dream boy.
Yeah.
Right, this next player, he played 3 times for Toronto and scored 1 try for the Wolfpack. His career started at Hull FC. He then went to Doncaster on loan / dual reg. He then briefly went to Toronto on loan, where he played 3 times and scored 1 try. And now he is permanently at Doncaster.
This one's really annoying because I think I know who it is, but I can't remember his name. And he was the other player I thought of when you said has played for Hull, and I can't think what his name is, and it's really annoying. Is he a winger?
It's usually a centre, but I'm pretty sure he played on the wing in a derby in the last year of his time at Hull FC and scored a couple of tries.
Yeah. Oh. So annoying. I can picture him and everything.
If you describe him, then I might give you the point.
Well, I don't really know how to describe him. He jumped well. No, I'm going to have to pass.
Jack Logan.
That's not actually who I thought it was.
Well, the person who you thought it was is the next person then.
That's even worse.
He played 34 times for Toronto, scoring 27 tries. He started his career at Halifax, had a loan spell at South Wales Scorpions, then moved to Hull FC, where in actual fact, if I remember correctly, he scored against the Wolfpack in the live televised pre-season game, which was the first time we saw the Wolfpack. He then went to York on loan, then went to Doncaster on loan, then went to Leigh on loan, and then finally made a permanent move somewhere else, and that was to Toronto. From Toronto, he went back to York on loan and is currently at Hull Kingston Rovers. And yes, he's a good jumper. And he's tall. I don't even know if he played in your first team.
I've got a feeling he didn't, but what we saw of him in pre-season matches, we were really impressed with him.
Yeah.
Oh, so annoying.
Nick Rawsthorne.
He did play in our first team, yeah.
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 Let's see how you get on with some players who haven't played for Hull FC. Played 35 times for Toronto, scored 25 tries and 82 goals, as well as 2 drop goals as well.
Yeah.
His career started at Leigh, moved on to Huddersfield before his spell at Toronto. He went back to Leigh on loan, and now is a Hull Kingston Rovers player.
I don't even know who plays for Rovers anymore.
Well, everyone, because they've had the revolving door for the last 3 years. Actually, they appear on so many of these lists. He's a halfback.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it Josh Drinkwater?
No, it's Ryan Briley.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Next up, he played 8 times in the black and white of the Wolfpack, scored 2 tries for them. He started his career at the Leeds Rhinos. He then had 1 season spells at all of the following clubs: Hull Kingston Rovers, Castleford, Warrington, Toronto, Workington, Leigh, and Featherstone, and as of 2020 he is retired. And I'll give you a clue, it's a prop forward.
So, 1, 2, 3. So he's played for the last 4 seasons. He's played for those clubs. No, he wasn't at Leigh. I mean, he wasn't at Leeds, rather. So Rovers and then...
No, Leeds is the club that he played most of his career at before having 1-year spells at all these other clubs.
Oh, he was only at Rovers and Cass and Y for a year as well?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, sorry, 5, 6. So that's 7 years since he was at Leeds.
He might have even played for 2 clubs in 1 year. No one liked him after he left Leeds. And no one else liked him when he played for Leeds.
That doesn't narrow it down. Was it? Yeah. I don't think he played for all of those clubs. So.
Do you want to take a stab at
Ryan Bailey?
It is Ryan Bailey.
Oh, I didn't realise he had been at Cass and Wire, I don't think.
That's because he barely played for him when he went to him. Okay, the next player has so far played 20 times for the Wolfpack and scored 8 tries. His career started at the Wigan Warriors. He went to London, then known as Harlequins, on loan. He then went to Widnes on loan before making his move to Widnes permanent, and finally now plays for Toronto. Another halfback. Well, standoff.
I don't have a clue.
Joe Mellor.
Oh, yeah. I never think of him as being a halfback. He's one of those players that just doesn't...
Where do you think he plays?
I don't know. I hear his name and I don't think halfback. I don't know where I'd put him.
Sorry, go on.
I wasn't saying anything.
Player 7, played 24 times for the Wolfpack, scoring 6 tries. Remarkably, that came over like 3 seasons with the club. So, maybe a hint there to his injury proneness. He started his career at St Helens. He moved on to Warrington. He then went to Toronto as one of their inaugural season players. And he's currently, as of 2020, unattached